Joining me is Kim Wilhelm, the CEO of the Food Bank of Waterloo Region. Hi, Kim. It's great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
It's amazing to be here again. Thank you.
So tell me, what's happening right now at the Food Bank?
Well, we continue to have our highest need in almost 40 years of providing food assistance to those living in Waterloo Region. We work with a network of over 120 community programs and partners to provide this support. And it's, you know, the cost of living, everything has never been higher, and we just continue to pivot and do what we can to ensure the community is fed.
So talking about cost of living, and now when we look at it and everything is just exponentially went up, how do you help people coordinate healthy eating? Because that's got to be a challenge, right? Snacks seem to be cheaper than healthy food.
I'm so glad you asked. Many people don't know, but we actually have a registered dietitian on staff at the food bank. And just we're at the end of March now, but March was Nutrition Month, and it was a great opportunity to be able to educate the community on all of the work that we do to ensure that folks who are in need of food assistance still get a healthy diet. One of the ways we do that is through the distribution of perishable hampers. We have incredible volunteers come in and help us 3 times a week build some perishable hampers that are provided to families in need of support. And those perishable hampers, I couldn't tell you what goes in them because every day they're different. But there's a selection of fruit and vegetables, sometimes lettuce. I go in there and it's just the most beautiful fruit when you open the bags, beautiful vegetables as well. And we ensure that it's about a 3-day supply of fruit and vegetables for families.
That's wonderful. And so with that, what is the most needed items that you're looking for? Because I'm sure that there's the staples, but then there's also new things that you're seeing as things change with the cost of living.
That's a great question. We try and keep our most needed food items updated regularly. We have a robust inventory system, and so that helps guide us to things that we're in most need of. Right now, I can tell you we're in need of rice, but also pull-tab cans. So pull-tab cans are often things that are ready to eat, stews and chilies. But they're also really beneficial because sometimes individuals on food assistance, they don't always have a can opener available to open the can of food.
That's a good point.
And so we really rely on those pull tab cans in our inventory.
Wow. So what other options are there? Like, do you look for pet food and that kind of stuff too? Because I know that there's lots of people who have pets, and it would be one of those things like, do you get a collection of pet food? I imagine you do, but I don't know.
Yeah, it is something that we have in our inventory system because oftentimes those who are relying on food assistance also don't always have the funds to buy extra food for their animals. And we do have a partnership with the Humane Society that if we get an excess of pet food, we're able to share back and forth with them, knowing though that our core focus is on food.
Right. And you mentioned earlier about volunteers. So let's talk a little bit about volunteers because that is the lifeblood of your organization, as it is with Rogers as well. And it's one of those things that we're coming into National Volunteer Week, or we're getting there.
In April.
Yeah, so talk to me about what that looks like for you.
You're right. They are the lifeblood of our organization. Volunteers help us in every single aspect of the work we do, right from our distribution center. So I talked about building the perishable food hampers, but sorting food, stocking food, picking food to go out to our agency partners, receiving food. We have volunteers that help drive our trucks, or their driver's assistants that go along with our drivers. We have volunteers helping out with events in the community to help spread the awareness, administration. Truly every corner of our organizations is the help of our volunteers. Over 3,000 volunteers supported us last year. We wouldn't be able to do the work we do without them.
Wow. So how would somebody contact you if they were interested in volunteering in any way that you've just mentioned?
The easiest way would be to go to our website at thefoodbank.ca and find the volunteer button, and there's a form that you can go through to sign up to be a volunteer, and then we'll have somebody reach out to you because we want to make sure that we're able to match you with a skill that's, you know, going to be the best fit for you as an individual, but also supports us with our important work. So thefoodbank.ca.
So now the other thing too is as we look at government and we're waiting for change to come that way, whatever that looks like, what do you think about and how do you develop healthy eating in that for the community? Like, as I know that you put together these wonderful packages, but what does that look like as we go forward?
Well, the other pieces, I mean, we talked about healthy eating is not easy. The region of Waterloo actually recently went around to 8 grocery stores in the region of Waterloo Public Health did this work, and they costed out what it would be for the average family afford to eat healthy locally. Those prices were over $1,100 a month, which is probably, truthfully, I feel like a little bit on the low side.
I think that might be.
But it's more than $300 from 2019. Prices have just skyrocketed like never before. But the reality is, somebody who is in need of food assistance shouldn't have to worry about whether they're able to eat healthy or not.
Right.
And that's why we're so proud to be able to provide them with fresh, nutritious food for their diets.
Talk to me about the fresh food, because I know you have a unique thing at the food bank. I've toured it many times and it's so impressive. I believe it's probably one of the only ones in Canada, I imagine.
Well, there's many food banks across the country, but every food bank does
Something
operate
unique.
a little bit differently.
Right.
At the Food Bank of Waterloo Region, we do have so much fresh and frozen food that we're distributing. And that fresh, frozen, non-perishable food, a lot of it is coming from manufacturers and corporations in the industry. Right now, we're not able to receive non-perishable food from the general community because food safety is so important. And so we need to make sure that that cold chain has been maintained. And we adhere to very high standards with Food Banks Canada to make sure all the food is safe. And so we really rely on the community's generous support to help us with that non-perishable side. And we're so grateful for that.
That's wonderful. Anything else that you want the community to know about before we wrap up?
Thank you. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, because the community is incredible. Our community has continued to step up over and over again to help those in need. It's neighbors helping neighbors. And I can't thank folks enough for all of the work that you've helped us to do to ensure that no one in Waterloo Region goes hungry.
And we have a fantastic community, no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
And they always step up and they always do great things. But the food bank does amazing stuff too. Like, I can't get over what you're able to do and how you're able to do it and how many people you reach. So thank you so much for all the work that you do in our community. Is so valuable.
Thanks for having me today.
Thank you for being here.